Ooh, team, we're going to have a really good conversation today because the number one question I am constantly asked is how am I so confident? Where do I get my confidence from? So I know that is a big deal for a lot of people who don't always feel at their best or don't feel confident 9 times out of 10, especially in their work environments. Imposter syndrome is definitely a thing, and I have a video on that. So I want to do a quick video because we all know you guys don't like to watch long videos. So this is actually going to be a two-part series for you to talk about what you can do to help build more confidence within yourself. Hey team, welcome to Everyday Career Coach. I am Career Coach Mo, helping you find your best strategy for your career trajectory. And today it is part one of a two-part series on what you can do to help build more confidence, especially within your work environment. I mean, it's truly a struggle where you're placed in certain situations. You know you're smart, you earn your spot there, but you still just don't feel confident in contributing, in speaking up, and in challenging, certain feedback from your boss or your teammates because you just don't feel confident enough in what you're saying, or you just feel a little bit shy, or you're just uncomfortable. And a lot of people really hold back when they're uncomfortable. And so I wanted to kind of put a couple of tips together on how you can kind of get through that. I mean, everyone goes into a situation nervous. I still get nervous when I have to present. I still get nervous when I have to speak to a large crowd. I still get nervous when I even speak to my boss about certain situations, right? No one is born with confidence, and that confidence doesn't always stay with you 100% of the time. But I do push and work through it. So I want to kind of share I think I got about 8 tips or maybe 10 tips that I wanted to share with you in this two-part series on how you can start building your confidence. So I want to start with tip number one. You got to let go of the perfectionism. I know I've spoken about perfectionism before, but it's truly such a major issue within your work environment where you feel like you just have to be on point and perfect at everything, and you're not going to say anything, you're not going to do anything to have anybody have any negative perception about you because you rely heavily on perfectionism. But perfectionism can definitely freeze you in the moment. So, one of the things I had to start learning to do is that I had to be okay with me making a mistake. I practice the 80-20 rule a lot of the times with almost everything that I do. 80% I'm going to get it right, 80% I'm going to be on point, but there will be the 20% when I'm not. I accept that. I understand that that's going to be a part of my existence, my life. And that is just one of the things where if I know it's going to come, the negative is going to come, the me not being perfect or on top of everything is going to come. It takes that pressure off of thinking that everything has to be right and everything has to be perfect. So I think one of the things is letting go of perfectionism, practicing or accepting some type of rule in your life. Like I said, I do the 80-20. And understand that that is simply a part of your work environment. You do not know everything. You will not know everything. You will need to ask for help, but that doesn't mean you should stop having a voice. So that is one of the most, I think the top rule is to let go of that if you're trying to build more confidence within yourself. Okay, so tip number 2 is controlling your thoughts. I have a little character that I make up in my head whenever some type of negativity or, just some aggressive negativity comes into my mind. I call that person Jerome. I said, Jerome, don't you start with me today. We're not going to do this today, right? So I acknowledge Jerome because Jerome is trying to sabotage me by making me have all of these horrible or just keeping me paused in what I'm doing, all of these thoughts that are just not helping me to move forward. So I say, Jerome, go about your business. Leave me alone. We not doing this today or whatever. So I acknowledge that the negative thought is there, and then I aggressively and actively in my mind push it away. Confidence is all about a mindset. and understanding how to control your thoughts and your actions, but mostly your thoughts, for the simple fact that you'll start creating a whole bunch of scripts in your head. You'll start having a whole bunch of conversations in your head telling you what you can't do, that you shouldn't do, don't do it, you don't know what you're talking about, you're wrong, you're gonna look like a fool, you're gonna, like, all of that stuff is playing in your mind, and then you start to believe it. So once you start, and it's going to happen, right? It's the negative thoughts are going to pop up in your mind. So let's just acknowledge that that is a thing, and it's going to happen. But what you can start doing is saying, "We not doing this today, Jerome." Now you might name your negative Nancy in your mind another name, but this is what I personally do: is stop it right in its track and say, I earned my spot to be here, and I am going to speak my mind. I work very hard to bring my authentic self into everything that I do, and that includes work. And Jerome is not going to hinder me from doing that. So, my tip number 2 is to definitely control your mind, control those negative thoughts, let them go, push them away, and be aggressive about pushing them away. So, tip number 3 is you have to stop comparing yourself. You are uniquely made. You are the only one of your kind. No one is going to be like you. No one else has your specific past. No one has been through what you've been through. No one has worked hard in the same way that you've worked hard. You are your own person. So you cannot sit there and get jealous or envious of someone else because their story is completely different. Who knows what privileges they were able to have, or who knows what struggles that they had to go through in order to build up to where they got to. And you got to just give them their space to have what they have, because what is meant for you is meant for you, and you are uniquely made. And you have to kind of recognize that. So my thing is, yeah, there's going to be people way better than me in business. There's going to be people who know way more than me. I've actually participated in conferences where I've said some things, or I was giving a speech, and then someone came up and said something way better than what I said. And I was like, instead of getting upset or jealous about that person, I was like, man, I got to get on that level. I got to learn from that person. I need to kind of go up and have a conversation with them. So I took it more as not necessarily a challenge against my ego. It's just that, oh, that's someone that I need to have in my circle, because guess what? When you have people in your circle that's better than you usually step up to the plate too. So that's how I look at it. You can't compare yourself. Your journey is different, and it's a good different. What was meant for you really made you into the person you are. And if you're in a particular position in your company, you earned that position. And so congratulate yourself, celebrate that. So don't try to compare yourself to anyone else. It's not worth it, and it's definitely not helpful. The next thing I definitely did when I was building up my confidence was visualizing what I want to achieve in my dreams, within my work, and actually making sure that I constantly had that a playback, a positive playback of that whenever I felt down or I was feeling negative about anything. Like I said, this whole thing about building your confidence is all about a mindset change. It really is as simple as that. But you have to work at it. It's not easy to change something, especially when you get given so much power to a negative thought for too long. It pretty much kind of stays there on repeat, and it takes so much effort and energy to kind of stop it. Like sometimes when you're trying to stop yourself from thinking about something, you start thinking about it even twice as much. I've been there and done that. So you have to figure out what your triggers are, and then you have to figure out how you're going to combat those triggers whenever they pop up. You have to acknowledge what they are, and then you have to have a plan of action on how you're going to combat that. So I know for me, for my confidence, like when I'm sitting in, I'm speaking to a CEO, or I get to have a seat at the table in a very important meeting or anything like that, I have visualized myself being there already. I have visualized me talking and having a very positive experience and a positive conversation. That has really amped me up when I'm going in there, because I've already seen what the future can hold for me. So I'm like, I'm going to make that future happen. I'm going to make that positive experience happen for me when I am in a place that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I guess, using visualization, I'm the type of person, I know everybody's not a fan of it, that actually has a dream board, but I've been doing it for years. And I have to say, a lot of my stuff on my dream board, I would say over 60% of it actually comes true because I'm constantly thinking about it, I'm seeing it, and I'm actually putting the right mental energy towards that in a very positive way. And my last tip for this very short video that's not ending up being short is that you have to create discipline. Like I said, I gave you a couple of great points in how you have to visualize, you have to have stop being a perfectionist, you have to control your thoughts more, you have to, stop comparing yourself. All of that takes work. All of that takes discipline, and you have to be willing to put in the work to stop all of that. So like I said, you have to figure out if a negative Jerome comes and starts speaking to you in a very negative way, what is it that you're going to, combat that with? Whenever you're about to get nervous and you're about to speak in front of a colleague, your boss, a group of people, or whatever, visualize the experience right from the very beginning in a very positive way so you can get amped up. I also use music. I'm a big music person, and that really gets me hype. I'll listen to certain music that I'm about to go in, like I'm about to go into a battle or something, but in a very positive way that's going to get, make me sit up a little bit more and make me a little bit more authoritative in my voice. I'm doing all of that. And that's what I'm doing to help me build confidence. So that was only part one. There are more things that you can do. So I hope you come back and watch the next video on part two on how to build your confidence. I really appreciate you taking the time of watching this. I really hope you press that like button. And if I didn't earn your like today, I hope you come back. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you on the next video.